My name is Janessa Gans Wilder, and I founded the Euphrates Institute following a 21-month tour in Iraq for the CIA from 2003 to 2005. While there, I realized the depth of the Middle East's global impact on our security, energy, and religions, and I wanted to help Americans directly engage the region through trips, educational programs, and examples of transformative grassroots solutions. The Euphrates Institute, a URI cooperation circle, was inspired by the Euphrates River, which not only provided life and sustenance to the parched deserts of western Iraq, but to me symbolized peace and hope even amidst the battle zones that raged around it. Euphrates' vision is a world with less terrorism, conflict, and fear. To this end, we want each person to be more informed about the Middle East, inspired by the grassroots solutions to the region's problems, and transformed into someone who is making a difference in the world.
Good evening. My name is Janessa Gans Wilder, and as you can see, I'm about to have a baby. And honestly, it's been bringing up some questions for me. Like Sarah mentioned, I've been asking myself, what kind of world will this child inherit? When he or she, we don't know what it is yet, will be my age, what will the planet look like? What are we leaving behind for this future generation? Now, I'm not really an environmentalist, in full disclosure, but as a CIA analyst based in Iraq after 9/11, I really began to realize how the environment is at the core of everything. I spent a lot of time in the western Al-Anbar province, where the local economy is based on agriculture and depends on a dwindling Euphrates River. Looks very different than in that picture right there. The river today is barely a trickle since its source waters were cut off by Turkey last June. Now, it's no surprise that Al-Anbar is fertile ground for ISIS and other militant groups who have growing influence among these disaffected farmers. Drought is also cited as a leading cause of the Syrian civil war. Water is a major factor in the Arab-Israeli conflict. We've been dependent on the region for oil for decades, but all these factors are making us realize that there may be one thing even more precious than oil: water. Now, as Californians living in a drought, I think we're beginning to appreciate this. So what can be done? This is where I truly believe that the URI model comes in. URI fosters cooperation at the grassroots level, right where there's a fierce sense of competition over scarce resources and growing ever increasingly scarcer. I've been fortunate to work with several cooperation circles in the Middle East, and the organization I run and founded, the Euphrates Institute, is one itself. I've seen how URI CCs bring not only the faith traditions together, Muslims, Jews, and Christians, but that this cooperation then extends to practical matters. For example, bringing together Israelis, Palestinians, and Jordanians to lobby for just water distribution, water conservation, and even to save the Jordan River. As someone focused on security issues of terrorism and war, I learned that the environment is a security issue. It's truly not something we can ignore. It directly feeds conflicts and the influence of militants, even those such as ISIS. I believe that URI has a philosophy and a practice that can counter these problems right at their heart, at the grassroots level, right where ISIS is doing its recruiting as well. As Bishop Swing told me the other day, URI is like Al-Qaeda, but a positive version. If the bad guys can create cells of terror and hurting people on the earth, why can't we create cells that help and heal the earth and its people? Now that is a world I want my child to inherit. Thank you.